I don't like calling people out. I don't like trying to shame people or anything. And this video really isn't a shaming video. But it's more of a response. It's more of like an offer of information to Fun for Louis. Okay, so Fun for Louis is a vlogger who I watch, and he's got, you know, good filmmaking skills. You know, he's a really great guy to watch, very entertaining, and you know, it's great kind of going on his journey with him. But recently, like, his last video that I watched was yesterday, and the title was Bulletproof Coffee. And Bulletproof Coffee, if you're not aware of it, it's basically this kind of paleo superfood thing that they're kind of promoting, which is a bit of a body hack. So it was developed by this guy called Dave Asprey, and it's simply coffee with grass-fed cow butter, and you blend it up. And what this is meant to do is release the caffeine over a longer period of time. I guess it's like with fruit, you have the sugar, but then you have the fiber, which is meant to like release it. It's the same kind of concept, right? And it's being promoted, and I think recently I heard that the guy has recently received $50 million or something like that to create a chain of cafe shops around America selling this bulletproof coffee. So it's getting big, and I'm sure some of the marketing budget of that goes into television shows and YouTubers. And I'm not saying Fun for Louis got money from that. I'm just saying that it's gonna start influencing the whole YouTube scene even more. It did a few years back, and it kind of died off, but now it's coming back.
That's me. That is me. I'm like a 2-year-old with the blanket in the washer. Bulletproof coffee. I've never had this before. Cheers. Dave said he's not a fan, but well, I'll give this a go.
I'm being convinced and being converted.
So basically, it slowly releases the caffeine because there's like oils and butter and stuff mixed in it.
Moment of truth.
And there's a few things wrong with this, and then I'm going to relate it to Fun for Louis, because in the same video of him drinking this thing, he said like he's been struggling with his iron levels, he's been getting lightheaded.
So in yesterday's vlog, I explained that I'd been feeling a little bit faint and dizzy when I stood up, and someone has said that it's low iron in my diet, and that they'd experienced the same thing when they went vegetarian. So I've just found out that mushrooms have lots of iron, so I need to be eating more mushrooms. So I'm going to stop by the shop and get some food, and I'm going to buy a whole box of mushrooms if they have any. Munch those mushrooms and I'll be alright. Tell me if there's other things I can eat with iron in.
Since he's become vegetarian since watching Cowspiracy, and this is a great film. If you haven't watched it yet, it was filmed in this chair. I'm currently in San Francisco, as you guys probably know by now. Amazing film, and it talks about the meat industry, the dairy industry, and its environmental impact. And I guess anyway, I have to start from square one, right? So with bulletproof coffee, intuitively this is completely insane, because you have a stimulant, you have a drug, which is coffee, which I don't really think anyone really should be drinking. It's not the most toxic thing in the world, but you know, it's not something you want to be drinking every day, multiple times a day. And what it does is it dilates your blood vessels, it makes them wider. And I think the way it works, well, I'm not an expert, is because it's a toxin, the caffeine is like some kind of pesticide that the plant produces to warn off like insects that are going to eat the plant or whatever. When humans drink that, it does the same thing. It's a toxin, and your body tries to pump it out, so it dilates the blood vessels trying to pump it out. And this is where the stimulant effect comes in. And when you add milk or you add dairy, butter to that drink, what happens is the vessels dilate, and then you have the animal protein, the cholesterol, the saturated fat, the hormones, all kinds of other nasty things, the pus, which is in dairy, also goes in there as well if it gets through your digestive tract. And it ends up pumping through your arteries. And then when the caffeine wears off, it contracts again. And I'm sure what would happen is the cholesterol would build up and it'd kind of contract again. That's the kind of logic I'm working on. I don't have science for that, but that's intuitively how I see it would work. I do have science, however, that proves that consuming caffeine and consuming dairy and eggs inhibits your iron absorption. And Fun for Louis has been vegan he's been vegetarian, or mostly vegetarian, I think, for the last few months since he's watched Cowspiracy. He done a video about it. And my friend Tim Sheaf, met up with him in LA last year, I think, last year, and met up with him and spoke about the film and spoke about it. So here's a clip from Tim Sheaf's vlog.
I don't know where I stand on that, but the reality is that's never going to happen. Yeah. I'm never going to grow my own chickens. No. It's always going to be mass produced. Even if I go to somewhere that's kind of healthy, I'd be like,
you just eat something else.
It's still the same. Yeah, no. And so then I was thinking that in my head. I was like, if I can eat more ethically and better for the environment, and then I just watched Cowspiracy, and because I was already thinking, I know at some point I'm going to make some kind of decision. Yeah. Watched it. It was just like that night. It just all clicked. I was like, I'm just going to do it. Like the next day I was like, what's stopping me? I'm just going to do it. And I love questioning things in life and questioning, is this the way it needs to be? And I've always done that with everything other than my diet, other than eating meat. And as soon as I questioned it, I was like, like I've looked for meat in every meal because I've been conditioned to from a kid. Oh, you need to make sure, and then you're like, you're not eating all your dinner in the evening, and your parents are like, just make sure you eat your meat.
So you can see, he's super passionate about it. He kind of gets the meat aspects of it, but what I think he's missed out here is that dairy and eggs are basically liquid meat. It's the same things that are in meat or in other animal products like dairy and eggs. And sometimes there's even more suffering in the process when you consume dairy, because a baby cow has been taken away from the mother year in, year out. The mother gets raped. She's been hooked up to this machine, 3 times a day. And then that cow eventually goes to the beef industry for her meat. So, the dairy industry is the meat industry, and so you're still supporting it, and you're still consuming those things and putting them in your own body. And it leads to all kinds of health issues like diabetes, and promotes cancer and, atherosclerosis, of which one of them is anemia. It reduces your body's ability to absorb the iron it's getting from the plant foods, which is the healthy form of iron in non-heme iron, because you've gotten rid of the meat in your diet. And that's where the heme iron comes from, and it can be quite toxic because you can get iron toxicity if you have too much of it. So you've gotten rid of that, which is good. But if you're still having the dairy and you're still having the caffeine as well, then all the good iron and the good nutrients that you're getting in the plant foods is kind of being pooped on effectively, because you're consuming the dairy and the caffeine, which is inhibiting the absorption of it. Not to mention the ethical dilemma as well, because you're still paying for animals to be killed and commodified and exploited and raped and tortured, as well as paying for the resources that take up. So like all the food and the water that those cows drink and eat could justifiably be given to hungry poor people. And you've been in countries where there are poor people. You went to Kenya recently, and other parts of Africa, all around the world, even in Western countries. And so that could just as feasibly go towards those people. And then you have the rainforest deforestation, you have species extinction. And so I recently heard in that video as well that you wanted to do an eco treehouse project in the future. And that sounds great. That sounds really exciting, and good luck and everything and whatever. But like, if you're still consuming dairy, then you're still paying for deforestation somewhere else. And so it just doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like maybe you're just missing a few bits of information here that could seriously help you out. I mean, anemia is a serious issue. And I've spoken to so many people who watch my videos, become vegan from being vegetarian, where they've had iron absorption issues, where they've been anemic, they've been on iron supplements for years. They become vegan in a matter of weeks. They're already seeing their iron levels go back to normal. They're off the pills, they're feeling great, and they haven't got that brain fog. They're sleeping well, they're not getting dizzy. All literally from going vegan. And you're just eating the plant foods, the greens, the beans, like the rice, potatoes, nuts, seeds. All those things have the minerals and the vitamins and the nutrients that you need to be healthy. And I feel like, from Louis, it might be good to just watch this film one more time and see that the dairy industry is just as bad, if not worse, than the meat industry, and is causing just as much harm to the environment. And this is really a sincere message. I didn't want to make this video like kind of shaming you and saying like, yeah, look, you're iron deficient. This is because you're not vegan. I didn't want to make a video like that. I wanted it kind of to be a bit of support for you, to kind of raise you up. I think you could seriously have a major impact in the world. You already are having a good impact in the world in other ways. I mean, I'm leaving out the whole Nestle promotion thing, which I thought was a bit of a sellout move, to be honest. But apart from that, I think you've got good intentions, and I just feel like you're just missing a bit of information. Be vegan, just stay true to the values that you tend to be promoting and tend to be for. And I feel like this is something that you should really be part of now. you know, in 10, 20 years time, we'll all know this and we'll be like, why didn't we just, you know, change sooner? So yeah, please, you know, consider this information, become vegan, watch your iron levels get back to normal. I know you're traveling, it'll be harder for you to get vegan food wherever you are, but you know, you can still eat rice, beans, potatoes and greens wherever you are in the world. That tends to be the staple of most people's diets. Even if you're traveling, you're in a supermarket, in the airport, you can pick up stuff. You know, when I was traveling here, there's always something in WH Smith or whatever. You can get it at the airport. So yeah, I hope this video reaches you well and you know, take the information on board and become vegan. And yeah, watch Cowspiracy again. It's filmed from this very chair here in San Francisco. And you know, I really do hope that you become vegan. So anyway, this is my message for Fun for Louis. Thanks for watching. Stick away from the bulletproof coffee and all other dairy and things like that. Become vegan, 100% plant-based, whole food vegan. Stick away from the alcohol as well. And that's another thing with the bulletproof coffee. Like, to say that you can have a more sustained release of this toxin is like saying, well, if you drink alcohol and you have butter with it, then you won't get as drunk. Or if you have heroin but put butter in the syringe, or however people take that drug, like, you can slow the release down. This is the same logic. Just stick away from it 100%. Stick away from the dairy as well. That's it. So enjoy life, Fun for Louis. Live the adventure away from the dairy and the exploitation. Be vegan. Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like to give a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe. I'll speak to you guys soon. Peace.